Okay, so today
I love me some boundaries.
we talk about some boundaries. So you love some boundaries. Okay.
I do.
So first of all, what does boundaries mean to you? What boundaries mean to you?
Boundaries is self-love.
Mm,
Boundaries is self-love. Because if you know how to set your boundaries, stick to it, and stand on it, you are like the happiest person ever. And especially if you're able to stand on your boundaries, that no matter who comes into play, who comes in your your space.
right. I always say,
That's so.
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. I think the big thing with boundaries, like you said, was to stand on it. I think that's the hardest part for people. Like it's easy to say, oh, I ain't going for this or that. But when certain people come in, whether it's your man or your family, I feel like you fold, or you might be like people pleasing, so you don't wanna like make anybody mad or feel like you gonna get retaliation if you don't do what somebody else do or somebody say to do, and that could be at work too. So it's like you have to stand on them. I think that's the hardest part for people, standing on it.
Absolutely.
And one,
That's that people pleaser.
yeah, and I feel like a lot of people don't correlate that with that. It took me a long time to learn that, I guess, with somebody saying that. Like you're a people pleaser if you don't stand on your own boundaries. And I was like, I thought it was like damn they're two different things. Like you wouldn't even think they go together, but that's one and the same. Like it's damn near the same thing.
I think it was the hardest for me to stand on my boundaries with my mama because she was the one that I wanted to please the most. Like,
Mhm.
she had all these expectations, all these things, and like I just always sought her approval.
Mhm.
So, actually standing on my boundaries with her and sticking to my boundaries with my mother was so hard. And when I did start doing it, I would have to block her for months at a time for her to understand that I'm prioritizing self love, self peace, self preservation. And if you can't get with the program, baby, you're just not going to be a part of the show. That's just what it
I
is.
was gonna say, ain't nobody bigger than the program. Nobody.
Hmm.
And I think that's what mine too. That's the only person that I could, I still say that to this day, like, cause like they sometimes they don't get it, and sometimes I be like, it ain't even worth saying nothing. And if I say something, it'll be like very like, well, I like in a therapist way. Do you think that that was nice? You know what I mean? But I say what I want to say now. But that was the longest time, like standing on my boundary with her. But once I did that, everybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Once I did that and cut her off, like I said, for years, I was like, I don't care about nobody or nothing. I never cared. Like I don't care how you feel. Like for real. Right, never gave a fuck. Cause I feel like if you can get past that one person, you
Mhm.
can understand like anybody can get cut off. Like anybody. So I would definitely say if somebody having problems with boundaries, tackle that hardest person first. Everybody else is gonna fall in line.
Absolutely. And I think for Black women, it's always going to be their mothers or that one man.
Or
That
I was gonna say that man. that man.
That one man, that one man. And I say they're mothers because a relationship between a Black girl and her mama is always like strained unless
Some, some,
they were
some,
taught something.
some of them. You gotta say some, because some people got good relationships with their mom.
Yeah, some people, but those be the mothers that was taught the boundaries. They was taught the self love, the self. They was taught all those things, and they had parents that was determined to be better than their parents. They would have parents that was determined to break those generational curses and not allow their children or try their damnedest to keep their kids from making those same mistakes that they made.
Right.
Now, when you got the type of parents that you go,
They
again,
or they go off of this is just how it was. So I'm gonna do what my mom and them do. I'm gonna do what granny and them do. And a lot of like you said, a lot of their stuff come in dysfunction and from slavery, like the beatings or talking down to all that like you
mhm,
you massa. And I think
Absolutely.
our generation was the bridge. Like, nah, especially these new generation, they not going. You whooping who?
Hmm.
Calling the police.
Hmm. Get
That
that
these kids
911
got
over.
police on them
Yeah.
quick. They ain't wrong though. I ain't gonna hold you. They ain't wrong. Some of them need their ass whooped.
And do.
But
Some of them ain't got no home training.
yeah, I feel like but it's be that thin line. Not even thin. A lot of parents don't, like you said, that didn't adopt the thing of let me not put my kids through what I went through. Let me learn or be better. So they still beating kids. That ain't no
Mhm.
discipline. That's not no whooping west discipline. You're beating them.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So these kids ain't going, I'm not gonna get beat. Like they just not going. They're not going. But yeah, I think so what do you feel about women? Well, let's back it up. Let's back it up with the women and like the parents, because it could be a father wound too, or even like your auntie, your grandma, just anything. So let's stay right there because let's let's see. I would say that it comes from a certain trauma when it comes to like the strain between the relationship. Like why
Hmm.
you have that boundary issue with that person.
Yeah.
So do you,
Trauma bonds.
yeah, or do you think it comes from like a childhood trauma, like abandonment or abuse, mental, physical, emotional?
I honestly feel like abandonment plays a huge part in it because as a child, when you go through abandonment issues, you want people around, you need people around. You looking always for that person to attach yourself to and for that person to attach themselves to you so you don't have to be lonely. So as you're getting older, you're going through these walks in life, you're noticing these new things about yourself that you don't like, but you also don't want to be by yourself. So it's like, okay, I really don't like when they do that, but I guess I'll put up with it, I'll deal with it just so that I can have that person around. Or I'm really not feeling this. I really don't like when he or she does that.
Hmm.
But, it's worth having that person around. I don't want to be by myself. If I say this, that's gonna hurt her feelings. She's not gonna want to talk to me. He's not gonna talk to me. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like that people are so afraid of being alone,
Hmm.
they're willing to sacrifice their own dignity just so they can have somebody there, not realizing that the ability to be alone is something to be cherished. Like when you realize you really just don't be needing people like that, you start attracting people that don't mind being by themselves and that's on the same level as you, and you're elevating your circle. And it's so much better than just chilling with people who can't respect your boundaries and stand on your boundaries. But you got to get past that abandonment issue. That comes with time and healing.
That's true. Because I feel like with the abandonment issues, it opened the door for so much abuse, even self-abuse, self-sacrifice, like you said, like you literally you willing to sacrifice yourself just not to be alone, no matter what this person put you through, no matter what happened. You saying, I'm not saying you're saying, but you're also doing it. And even if you don't recognize what's happening, you try to fill that hole that you got in your heart or your being or whatever so bad that
Mm-hmm.
you willing to put up with whatever because you need somebody there. Not even realizing, because a lot of people don't realize a lot of the childhood trauma that they went through is why they act the way they act or why they allow certain activities or they do certain things and or allow people to walk over them is because you got issues, boo. You got some stuff that you need to fix. And like you said, it takes for you to go in a space by yourself to fix them.
Absolutely.
And I
And
think
then
that's why a lot of people drew to suicide because it's like they literally don't understand they're going up against themselves.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because it's like you literally have to explain to people and sometimes it's like they're not getting it. Like because I know I've had friends or associates in the past that be like, I don't like this. I don't like when this person do this. I don't like when this person do that. I've told them that. But people are only going to do what you allow them to do. So if you set the standard that yeah, I'm gonna tell you I don't like this, but I'm not standing on those boundaries, they're going to continue to do it because that's what they like to do.
Yeah,
And
they don't
you
care.
have no strength. You have no strength to even respect your own boundaries. You gotta stop letting people do what they want to do. You gotta get comfortable with being by yourself because the right people are gonna come along and they're gonna respect your boundaries and they're not gonna press them limits because they ain't gonna want you to press theirs.
Yeah, and it comes to that like it's I feel like I don't be feeling bad for people that don't. And I even in my situation, like in my past, I don't feel bad that y'all took advantage because if I don't respect myself, why would you respect me?
Absolutely.
And also, what was I was gonna say? What else? What else? What else? I don't even know what the hell sentence that was. But yeah, like why would you respect me? And it just like people are very selfish, and you should be. Like when we go to school and you learn about Darwinism and all that, like self-preservation is the first thing. Like that it is real. That experiment with them birds and they took care of themselves first, that's real. That's one of the reasons, even if you're a twin, you came here by yourself. Your main focus is you. Even as a parent, I had to learn that, like, yeah, you gonna take care of them and it's gonna be okay. And it's always gonna be okay. The kids gonna get taken care of regardless. But
Mhm.
if you ain't straight, nothing's going to be straight. If you do not heal yourself, if you do not figure out, like you said, if you don't like this or this and this, if you don't fix it, you always gonna be feeling like shit. You're never gonna reach your potential. You never gonna have the friends you want. And the same thing go with friends outside of relationships. These bitches sneak dissing you or whatever they do in front of your face. No, they why would they respect you? Why would you have the life that you want if you don't even want the life you want? If you not even,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? If you allowing certain things in your life, you gotta realize like, do you really want it? And it does come with that, like you said, I don't like this, so I don't feel good when somebody do this to me. A lot of people don't understand the feeling is connected to what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to go. That's what discernment is. That's what God gave us. Like, oh, that don't feel right because it's not. Like, so you gotta understand that's not for you. So when you don't feel good or a motherfucker talking crazy, you gotta get up out of there. Like you gotta save yourself. Like when they say ain't nobody gonna come save
Absolutely.
you gotta
Absolutely.
save you, bro. You gotta say, even with the kids, look, y'all, I don't give a fuck. You ain't getting no toy today because I'm finna go get my nails done. I want to get a massage or something because y'all always get. And we sacrifice so much, especially as women and men probably do, parents, period. Like sometimes you gotta say, nah, I need, what do I need?
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
you gotta get your shit off top. You know how motherfuckers be like, get your money outside. You gotta get your shit off from off the top. That's how I feel. Was my going.
And it's even more like it's important for everybody, but it's even more important for these single mothers out here
Oh,
because you are setting the standard for your kids. And we talk about generational curses a lot, but
mhm.
like honestly, if your kids seeing that this is something that you do, they're gonna think that's okay. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? They're going to get into the habit of doing that. They're not going to be able to tell people no or stop or, they're not going to be able to cut that circle down like, okay, I don't need to be around this person, that person. They're not going to know who's real, who's there for them because you're unable to differentiate it yourself. You're
yeah.
allowing these people to hurt you no matter what the situation is. You just can't say no.
Yeah, because you're the example. Like what we don't understand is what I learned as a kid. Because if y'all don't know, this is my cousin, like in real life. So I was very meek mannered, but I was very observant. You was very observant too. You barely spoke, and we always talk about how you was she used to always be in hustle with the grown people. And now, y'all, she be telling everybody, well, she'll be telling everybody business, but it's a grown person, they play crazy with her. Oh, nah. I remember back in 99 when you was a hoe. Like, she don't play it. But so she keep her receipts even as a kid. So being very observant, I think that a lot of parents don't understand that yeah, you can tell your kid and teach them lessons like what come out your mouth, but really the most of the lessons are them watching you and what you're doing, and that's what they're going to do. And kids are very smart, even from the jump. Like we talk about that all the time, how we say like we figured out the monsters were humans, even as children. So
Mm.
it's just like if you don't have a model behavior, why would your kids grow up, your girls or your boys, to respect themselves? Why would they not have fucked up friends? And then then a lot of people, parents be, when they get teenagers, the kids get teenagers. Oh, you hanging with the wrong crowd. Oh, no. Then they be in jail. Bro, you was in the house with 30 people smoking and drinking, Tyrone, all them, or you out on the porch. You know what I'm saying? Or you ain't coming in. Sometimes your kids coming in before you, and you wonder why they don't come in the house. You wonder why they ain't, you know what I'm saying, got the right people around them. You wonder why your girls have messed up relationships, or your boys going to here with the harlots, the whores. What did you
Girl.
show them? And sometimes kids do straight, but at the same time, you got to do your best to be a role model. Like one of my
Example.
big things was, and I still kind of hate this question to this day, but I don't, I be like, I hate when motherfuckers ask you that. Who's your role model as a kid? Nobody, bro. Who did you look up to? Who? Who's I supposed to look up to? And I be so like irritated, like, who you look up to now? Like, I say somebody that I don't even know, like Super Scent. I look up to her. Like I like her. She's a great businesswoman, great, but like I like her. Like, but nobody in my actual family I can look up to. Can I look up to them as far as like their progress in life and see their strength? Absolutely. They're very resilient. But to who I want to be, no.
Mm. Like legit, I used to go through all of my mama paperwork and stuff because I just knew I was adopted, bro. Like, cousin.
Gee, what's wrong with you? I was a snooper too. Don't give me a lie. I was a snooper, but adopted though, bro.
I just knew I was adopted. I was like, there ain't no way this woman birthed me and she's putting me through this amount of trauma.
That's
There is no way that this woman gave birth to me and she does not like me. She does not tell me she loved me. Like there is no way that this woman birthed me. And this is how my childhood is. I used to go through all her stuff looking for adoption papers. And
It's
on my
funny,
dad.
but it's not. But that shows how, to the extent, like you feel so disconnected from this person, you could not have come out of her cat. Like God could. I even be saying like God, you couldn't. I'd be like, you. Why did you put me in the lion's den? I'm not even a bad person. Like you sent me in the middle of Chicago, or you know what I'm saying. With these people are crazy. They're
Heathen.
nothing like me. Where do I fit in? Who am I?
Absolutely. Black sheep.
Gee, you feel like a fly on the wall. Like,
Hmm.
not
You are
adoption
to be
babies though. I'm cracking up. Gee.
adoption papers. I just knew, like, because my daddy side of the family, like, ooh, whoopee, whoopee, whoop. They sound look like Whoopi Goldberg. I was like, she must be my mama. Let me find these papers, because me and her gonna go to court. For real though,
So would
like,
you? Okay, so say like you did find the papers. Gee, like you found the papers. Would you want to emancipate yourself or go find your mama? Like, bro, get me up out of here.
I, get me out of here. I was finna go find somebody. Look, you know her?
Help!
Oh, okay, yeah. That signal real fast. Come on, run this.
Help! Help! Gee, I used to feel like that too. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be that, and they're like, "Help me! Can somebody see me? I'm dying here. Somebody
Right.
help me!"
And you know what killed me is like everybody act like they didn't know. But who knew? And you still didn't do nothing. You saw it. You saw the signs and you knew, but you did nothing about it. And then what kills me even more is the people like, oh, she did her best. She did this. She did that. She was such a great this. She was
Now,
be
I
so
agree with you at doing the best. Great, no. I do believe like people they did their best because that's the best I feel like they had in them. When we talk about that too, like some people, we understand hurt people, and there's trauma. And I do believe on a spiritual level, like we put ourselves here because we needed to learn and grow. Now, why would
mhm.
I do that? I'm still trying to figure it out. Me and God in talks, but it's just like do you don't feel, Lord, it's my bedtime, baby. Do you feel like they didn't do their best and they just said F it, like I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care. I ain't even gonna try. Like, do you feel like that?
I honestly felt like it was one of those situations where I was being grown. I had this baby. This baby didn't ask to be here,
Mm-hmm.
but she here anyway. So I'm gonna do what I have to do to keep this baby alive, type stuff. That's how I felt some days. Other days, like I put it to you like this: in Chicago, hold on, come this way, come this way. Sorry, y'all can't be on camera. This way. What about? Sorry, my baby want a hug. In
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, I honestly felt like while my mama was in the midst, I love you, good night. While my mama was in the midst of her mess, that's when she was at her happiest.
Mm.
Like she was in the midst of all the drama, all the mess, all of the everything. That's when she was her happiest. And I can honestly say that
Wait,
I
back
had.
that up. Explain that. Explain that. Like,
So what I mean by that is she was surrounded by her people. She
mm,
was in her comfort zone. It was a whole bunch of people doing the same things that she was doing
yeah.
that was co-signing on her mess.
Mm-hmm.
It was she was just in there. You know how it was. We was out, we at the family barbecue. She
Yeah.
was partying, she was hanging this, she was doing this, she was doing that. You know what I'm saying? That was her prime. You know, that was her prime.
Yeah.
And I caught like I ain't never seen my mama smile as hard as she did when we was back home in Chicago, surrounded by her people. And then Barbara Jean died, and it was just like she died right along with her.
Okay.
Now,
Probably
don't
you're
get
not
me
grandma.
wrong.
People was watching this. You say your grandma. So
Oh
do
my
you
God.
think that that took a lot away from them? Because I feel like too, like with our other family members and my auntie, I feel like it just they got so much meaner. I feel like they was in that glow with the partying and all that because we grew up in the early 90s. So it was a given. And also they didn't know like that crack and all that was gonna be that bad. Like they didn't think it was that bad, of course, because it was a new drug. So they turned up. Is they
Mhm.
should, because y'all and y'all twins, lose your mind. Okay, great. But one of my things also I like you touched on that. When our matriarch died, it
Oh
seemed
yeah.
like they was like even kill, yeah, we've been tolerated, but we was having fun. We got to do what we want to. The damn they have the same. But I feel like if the trauma and everything turned up, like the meanness, the I don't give a fuck no more, like the grief maybe that they was experienced really was the turning point. Is that
When
what you
when
believe
grandpa
too?
died, they all died. And
Mm,
I truly believe that because they ain't been happy ever since then. Name one time we got together, like truly got together, and not for memorial services
hmm.
as a family since grandma died. We
Yeah,
don't do barbecues no more at nobody's house. We not doing family reunions. We not doing anything when grandma died, they died too.
yeah.
And
Because we used
that's
to
why,
meet up every like week, sometimes more than once a week.
yep,
Yeah.
we was always together. Our cousins knew each other. Now we don't know our little cousins like that. We don't know what's going over here with this person, what's going on. We
Like,
lost
she be like,
sight.
that's your baby. You got baby?
You know better than I do. Like we done lost sight of who we are
Yeah.
as a family. And don't get me wrong, I still went through my trauma while I was still in Chicago.
Mhm.
My like she's life was lifing, okay? Even as a little kid, things I saw, the things I experienced that forced me to have to grow up faster.
Mhm.
But once we moved to Texas,
What?
that was it. It was like she was non-existent. Once grandma died, she was gone. She was a zombie. She was moving about. She was trying to find that fix to fill that hole,
Mhm.
to tend to that wound like only a mother could.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still needed my mama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she was gone.
So do
And I
you
had
feel
to
like
raise
the mom
myself.
that you know her to be was not even there anymore? Like that person didn't exist. Like this was a whole new person that you didn't even know. Is that what you're saying? I do feel like I'm keep getting the reference of like it just was like a jungle after our matriarch died. And I do feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe people could chime in. Like a lot of people when they grandmother or whoever the top person or woman was, when they passed, and I feel like everything went crazy. Like you was literally in a jungle, like every man for themselves. Like
Mm-hmm. It
that's
was lost.
crazy.
It was lost. And it shows like how much she led the family, and and it also shows how divided we were as well. Because even though we were together all the time, we was with each other, we was this, was that, woo woo. When she passed, we should have been able to stick together.
Yeah, I
But
believe
she was the only thing that was holding us together. So even in the midst of that, we were still heavily divided.
they were like they would still sit there and cuss and fuss, but grandma would be like, sit the fuck, everybody sit the fuck down, shut up. Like, but
Right.
and that's what I noticed about life too, in anything in my relationships too. It cannot be just one person holding like being the glue. Like
Mm-mm.
it's gonna fail every time. And when it do, especially if it's only one person that's trying and trying to hold shit together, it will never work. And when it fall apart, it's going to shambles. Like it's going to shatter in a million pieces. Like a
It's
million pieces.
irreplaceable. It's irreplaceable. And it really takes for you to have to, I feel like I had to create my own family in order to get that sense of family and that sense of love back. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I had to go out and I had to to have my own kids. And even with me having my own kids, I saw myself pulling away from people because I was so afraid for my kids to relive the trauma that I lived, even though I wasn't out there doing the things that my mother was doing, that my father was doing. I wasn't living that type of lifestyle. I was so afraid that I would expose my child to somebody who would hurt them
Yeah.
by me being a people pleaser, me, having a hard time being alone, that I secluded myself. I became like a hermit crab. I was under a rock. I didn't talk to nobody. And I deprived them of that socialization piece. I deprived them of, being able to go out and to meet cousins and aunties and uncles and all these things. And when I brought them around them, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't see your kids see it. They were bigger. Like, they grown. Shit. What's up, cousin?
Right? Like, what you
But that's what trauma will do. It will
doing?
have you so terrified because I can see that too. Like it will have you terrified, like to the point where you do. It's like what's the whatever that is, that phobia when you put yourself in the house. Like some people can't come outside. You really be like that, and you put your kids in bubbles and yourself because it's like nah. And then when you do that, it also makes you messed up and it messes you up because
Do.
the more you hold on and hold too tight, that's really when they slip in, the people that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's friends, the man, things like that,
Yeah.
because you so it's like you so busy looking over here and trying to have this agenda that here they come right here. Like somebody smack you, sneaky you.
Mm.
So it's like we talked about, like the more you try to stop something or not be how our family was and think like, oh well, I'm not doing dope. I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking every day, like, oh, I'm doing better, but are you? Are you really? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's just
Yeah.
like, you know,
Might as well.
yeah, because it's like, and that's what I learned. Like, it's really no, yeah, that's bad, but damn near everything. Like when they say no sin is better than the next, like everything can be detrimental. Too much of anything can be, yeah, a hindrance to your livelihood. So it's a fine line between like damn near everything. So when they say you need balance, yours need balance. Like you really got to try to balance everything out, or just
I'm
not worry
trying.
about it. Just go with the flow. Like okay, and I'll be girl. When they say Jesus take wheel, God take baby, you want to do that? I'm gonna just do what I can.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just do what I can. That's it.
That's all you can do,
Yeah,
especially now. It's so much going on in the world.
Mhm.
And I be seeing all these conspiracy theories and all this stuff, and then I sit here and I'm just like, the amount of worry and hatred and anger and frustration and stuff that I already felt because of what I've been through.
Yeah.
And to add kids on top of that, and then to add the world on top of that. It's just like,
Don't put the bills on them motherfucker. You know, it's over. Yeah, so you really have to be like, you know what? I'm gonna put all these bags down. I'm not even gonna worry about that. I'm worried about me, my kids, and then we just whoever in this little bubble. That's it. And yeah, we care about everybody else, but that's it. And that was nothing I was gonna say. When you try to have too much control,
mm-hmm,
it's always gonna slip through your hands. Like you hold on to something too tight. Like I feel like that's what I've done it like in my past. Like I tried to have too much control over life. Like try and it like I said worried me too motherfucking much. It put me in too much fear. It put and it just it's like like the walls close on in on you. But once you release it and understand like everything already work out every time anyway. So and run sister word because like I said, look what's going on outside. Shit,
girl.
this shit gonna happen whether you want to or not, whether you want it to or not. You can't control nothing but yourself in your little area. That's it. And control your square. That's it.
I'm trying to tell you.
What the old people say, stand on your square. That's all you can.
Period. At the end of the day, you got your square. Love your square.
Real.
That's
That's a big one. Love your square. Love
mhm.
yourself. Love your life. Be grateful. And like I say, everything else will work out. That's how I am. Like
And like trying to have control is when I lost control.
you got to.
That like trying to control every situation caused me to spiral and to lose control.
Mhm.
And that's that's a part of the reason why when I get angry, I do the things I do.
You got to relax. You say you need some medicine, but I know this medicine in this world is not. You just
It
keep going to therapy. Okay. I believe in you. But at least you like what it's like an AA meeting. One the
is.
awareness. Once you are aware, like, okay, this is a problem, then you can tackle it. Like the hard part is over with. It's just you being aware and you deciding, nah, I'm not gonna let that happen or let that control me. Cause you will be in some messed up situations over
Absolutely.
anger and because of some trauma that happened a lot so long ago. And even though we don't have to forget it, I am a firm believer. You just gotta let it go. Don't
Mm,
let them off the hook because they still go. Hey, you did it, but I ain't gonna hold on to it. One of my famous sayings, I say this to my brothers and them all the time. And like when people be like, "Oh, this person crazy," da da da. Let me tell you something. One thing I learned: you gotta lose your mind to find a peace of mind. No, to even find a peace of mind, you gotta lose them motherfuckers. Okay.
mm-hmm.
And this world will make you do that. So even like say when I was spiraling, I feel like if maybe you're not old enough yet, whoever listening to this, if you ain't lost your mind yet, you ain't old enough. That's how I feel. You ain't been here long enough. But when you spiraling like that and you lose your mind and you look back like, damn, I really was out here doing with just whatever. Like you were losing your life fucking stage. And I feel like that those times brought the most clarity. Like I found so many lessons, so much peace, and really just losing it. Like and
Mm-hmm.
letting go of control. Like I said, letting go of the control because when you was trying to hold on too tight, it make you go crazy. Like, oh, that didn't work. No, that didn't go the way I wanted to. Like everything
Mm-hmm.
becomes a problem, bro. And you create your own problems. And then it's like liars. Like now you gotta tell another lie to fix that lie to do that. So now that ain't work. So now you gotta try to do something else and you scurrying to do something else, and then you making all these missteps, getting farther and farther from what the fuck you supposed to be. Then you like, damn. And it's just like you get lost, you just sit down. Like, bitch, I'm gonna just sit down. Let me just be still. Cause I'm lost. Like you realize
Oh,
that. And that's where you find your way. Like, let me just sit still.
and I felt like when I was at that point, I had built a house of glass. I
Mm,
felt so exposed
right.
because I had tried to control everything and keep up this appearance like I had it all together. I was this, I was that, I could do this, I could do that. I was mommy, I was this. I had so many titles that I was trying to maintain, and I had built my house out of glass so that everybody could see, like, hey, this is this is that. You could do this, you could do that. But inside, and it wasn't even, I can't even say it was people on the outside throwing rocks at my window.
Ooh, come
I
on
was
now.
inside throwing rocks at my window. I was putting the cracks in my own glass,
Why do you think?
trying to maintain.
Mm. Do you think you
I
trying to get out because you felt so
felt so
overwhelmed?
trapped in my own world, but I had built that house. So it's like I
Okay.
trapped myself in this space by holding, and this is how I ended up into therapy. I trapped myself into this house of glass by trying to control everything, by trying to change everything, by trying to shift the atmosphere myself
Hmm.
and create this lifestyle for my kids that I didn't realize that I was damaging them. And I was further traumatizing myself. And I
Yeah.
was reliving that trauma over and over and over and over again. And I was broadcasting it to the world. And you don't realize that at some point you got to tear that house down.
Yep. Yeah. I say blow it up. I always say that, like, and especially when your life start going out of control, is because, like, I believe in God, but and also just period is because that, like I said, the house unstable, and when you got to blow up your whole